Good afternoon and welcome inside the Real City Curling Club for Draw 2 of the Anita Cochrane Memorial. I'm Jordan Kiss, joined alongside Melissa Saligo for this one between Team Guidos and Team Sophie Brissette. And it's going to be Team Guidos throwing the blue rocks and then Sophie Brissette throwing the yellow rocks with the hammer here in the first end, Melissa.
Yeah, this is going to be a great start, as you've probably talked about or alluded to in the first draw, Jordan, is how great the ice has been. It's curling a lot, like 5-6 feet, and a couple ends in, it gets up to about 14 and a half, hog to hog, so it's going to be pretty fun to watch.
And also these rocks are brand new. Do you think with the new rocks, these teams, Melissa, will maybe have to think a little bit more about how these rocks are sliding down the ice today?
Absolutely. I mean, this is, we don't have this opportunity to play on ice like this very often in BC. Obviously, provincials we do, but this is such a great learning experience for every team out there. Just to learn to see what these kind of rocks do and how they play and how they react. And we used these rocks a couple weeks ago in a training camp. It's just phenomenal. They're great. A great job Real City has done here.
And that shot rolls out. And kind of very common thing we saw in the first game earlier on this sheet was the hit and rolls were one of the most difficult shots, as teams maybe struggling to find a place to put the broom down. Maybe couldn't, the curler alone watch. Also, maybe these rocks had some play in that.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I mean, we saw a lot, even on the sheet I was watching over on sheet 2, Jordan, is, you have to, it curls so much, so you can't really throw that delicate weight, especially in the first couple of ends. If you want to throw a hit, you can take, your 4 or 5 inches, but you got to make sure you throw the weight and take the sweeping out of it.
Nice rock from Farkarv. Team Guidos, of course, Team Guidos playing with 3 in this one here.
Those are 2 good draws.
2 split the rings. And it's Team Brissette lead Kira Dickey. It's set for her second stone here in the first.
The other thing you really want to avoid here, Jordan, is you want to make sure that you get out to the broom. Again, if you're tight right out of your hand, it's really difficult for your brushers to hold the rocks just because of the movement that we're seeing. And see this one as well, it doesn't have a lot of weight, and unfortunately it's just going to overcurl.
That's 2 missed shots early on by Team Brissette. Right now, advantage Guidos. Now Haley, you get another chance. Now in this situation, Melissa, you want to split the rings, but the way your 2 rocks are, they're already kind of split. You can't really place another one that would separate them even further.
No, and no, you can't. So you could do one of 2 things. Because of the rock on the left-hand side is behind the tee line, you could throw one top 12 just in front of it. You are setting up a double almost no matter where you go. The other option is to throw it to the center line, top 12, top 8, and let them try and do a hit and roll or try a double. But right now, you're just trying to put it in a place that makes it as difficult as possible to make that hit and roll or the double. That's a really good spot.
Put that top 12. Now, second for Team Brissette, Chloe Mitchell. We got her first opportunity to throw here in this game. Again, they're going to try for that hit and roll once more.
So she looks like she's taken maybe 2-3 inches more ice this time.
Learning from the other 2 shots. The sweepers are calling down right away, and this one's taken off again. But I'll notice on that one, Melissa, there's not a lot of handle on that rock.
That's a really great point. Again, the things that make you successful on this kind of ice is you have to make sure you have the right weight, especially for hits. You have to make sure you have the rotation. The goal is to keep the rock going as straight as possible between the hog lines, and when it hits the break point, then you'll see it start to move. And that's the key, Jordan, is you really got to make sure you get out to the broom and throw some handles so that it runs straighter for longer. So big advantage here now for Team Guidos.
Now it's the skip, Laura Lee Guidos, who's going to be throwing the middle stones here for this team. Katara Park in the house. pulling the line. They're trying to get this one there. Taylor Farquhar on the brush and will come up as a guard. Now it's opportunity here for the fourth time for Team Brissette to make this hit and roll. Maybe they're going to like to play something different here, Melissa.
Yeah, and I Sophie's seen that line a couple of times, so the hit and roll behind the guard that was just thrown by Guidos is actually there. Now I think maybe she's trying the double, which I totally get. There's a lot of blue stones in the rings right now, but we have seen that path so many times, Jordan, that it would have been nice maybe just to have an opportunity to try it again. But this is close for the... She hit one anyways.
She'll make the one while she hit the other one. She will make contact, but key thing is both blues stay in the rings.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. It was a really good try.
It's going to be in.
It shows you how heavy it probably is, hog to hog right now.
First end. It's going to be an open hit. Now, Melissa, is the goal here to roll or just kind of hit and stick open?
I kind of like the hit and stick right now, or even the hit and a little bit flop. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Sophie isn't going to ignore all four of those stones and try and go around the guard, right? So if you try and roll away from that guard, don't give her the opportunity for the hit and roll. This one looks pretty close.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
It's going to hit and stick there, and now sitting 4 without the last rock here in the first end.
So this is decision time, obviously first end, Jordan. I mean, do you go for a double to try and decrease what's happened out there, or do you try and play the hit and roll and hope for the best? But the guard that's out there, about, it's just under halfway. Even if they get a really good hit and roll, it's probably still accessible. Just because of the way the rock curls. So I'd almost want to play a good solid double here, or a nice hit and roll to the one that's over in the back, just behind the back 4 foot.
Yeah, so as well. Of course, you do have hammer in this situation as well, which takes off a little bit of the pressure right now. So they're going to play the outside one. They haven't figured the spot out yet, but hopefully they can do it this
I
time.
think they need to go hard on this one already. It's going to go... Well, she's got pretty good weight, actually. So if they can get a roll right over to the one in the 4 foot, this is going to be a great shot.
It's going to be good. They will roll over, and it's going to sit just on the side.
Really great shot.
Great shot by Madison Monroe. Rolls over. Big shot for her team when they're struggling here early on, but another chance for Guidos here to sit 4. They're getting close for Team Guidos to possibly maybe leave in a pocket. You want to roll as far over to the right as you can?
I would think so. Again, make her have the most difficult shot there is. So don't give her the open hit. Try and roll away somewhere out of the 4 foot area and make her decide if she's going to draw or hit. And this is the first one we've seen in this path, and for the hit, it looks like she's got a pretty good shot.
She will make contact at Spill It, and they are still sitting 4. And Team Brissette again for Madison. Another chance to play the hit and roll behind the guard.
Yeah, just trying to decide what turn they want to go with here. We just saw one previously thrown by Katera, so probably follow the same path. Again, I don't hate the hit and flop in front of the other blue stone.
She wants to get sets in the hack and set to deliver her final stone here in the first.
Gotta go one way or the other here, though, Jordan. You don't want to just leave it there.
She will roll closer towards center. And Katera is going to have a shot here. Look to play just a simple hit and stick. Maybe, again, you could roll either way in this situation.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Even showing them a piece behind the guard isn't too bad.
Tara Park gets set to throw her first, a former BC Junior champion, a BC Mixed champion, most recently a BC Mixed Doubles champion.
She had a pretty good resume.
It's a very good resume. But this is her first time throwing skip rocks.
Looks pretty good. Not going to get the roll, but she might roll away here.
She will roll partially over, sit in the 4-foot, and Sophie has a chance to, again, make that hit and roll for her team. Or maybe invest in maybe a hit and roll over to the left, or just sit in the 8-foot, Melissa.
Yeah, you know, you got to roll one way or the other, that's for sure, but you need to make the decision. You can see that's what they're talking about. The hit and roll perfectly behind that guard is really, really tough. But if you hit and roll in front of the other blue stone, at least you're have a little bit of backing, maybe makes it more difficult on your opposition to throw a good shot.
So they're trying to figure out exactly what they want to do here. It's like they have elect a hit and roll to the right, sit in the 8-foot, kind of hoping for a jam on Tara's last. Because they do have hammer here.
Wouldn't even be so bad, Jordan, actually, if they even rolled over to the far one, at least trying to outcount the one in the back.
Now at least try to cut him down.
Got to minimize the damage here right now. The good shot, that will do it.
Sophie Brissette gets set to deliver her first here in the first.
Looks like almost a nose hit.
Will end up on the nose, and have a chance for Team Guidos and Tara Park here to make the hit. Now the most important thing for them is just to get this yellow rock out of play.
Exactly. Yeah, don't overthink this one. You want to hit it high side if nothing else. If you cross that rock, you might have the jam there, so you want to just stay on the high side of this. And Sophie threw this one, I believe, on her first one. Or, it's not Sophie, sorry. Katara, thank you. I'll get the names right. Okay, well, she's definitely high side.
This one's hanging out there for him. It will make contact, looks like, and it'll eliminate the yellow, and
no, I think it hung in, didn't it?
it did hang in there on the right, so now they're sitting 4, and for Sophie it's going to be a shot against 4 here in the first end. Looks like she's going to elect to play the hit here, Melissa.
Yeah, these are one of those. I mean, you look at the house right now, and in theory, all she has to do is hit full 8. But it is the first end, and we've saw draw weight's been a little tricky so far at the start of these games. So I probably like this shot.
Yeah, they haven't really thrown a draw on this end either, so
exactly.
Not surprised by path. They've seemed to know this spot here, and just needs to hit on the nose for the single. Sophie gets set to throw her last stone here in the first.
here, Jordan, and the girls are working super hard.
You want to make contact. And it will slide on by, and it'll be a steal of 4 for Team Guidos here in the first end. After 1, it's 4-0.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ.
Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
Back here at the Real City Curling Club here in Westminster. I'm Jordan Kiss alongside Melissa Saligo for draw 2 of the Anita Cochrane Memorial. It was a steal of 4 for Team Guidos here in the first end as that first rock by Haley Farquhar slides to the back of the 8-foot.
Yeah, that was a tough start, unfortunately, for Team Brissette. She got a little tight on her last shot, and it was one of those, again, Jordan, we talked about it, is, you know, you've got the full 8-foot, but you got to be confident with your draw weight in order to throw that shot. So I didn't hate her throwing the takeout, but again, you got to be out to the broom on this kind of ice. She threw great weight, and unfortunately, the sweepers just couldn't hold it.
So now we're going to ask for the corner guard here and try to set up at least a 2. Of course, it only is 1 end, Melissa. Still 7 ends to go after this.
Yeah, and I like what you said there. You only need your 2 back, right? You don't need to go hard for 3, 4, 5, whatever. You can take some careful chances and just try and get 2 back and work your way back into the game.
So this guard looks like it will hang, and no, it will not. It will slide in, a costly mistake, allowing Team Guidos to hit this one. Of course, we are playing 5 rock rule here. 8 ends. Each team will have 32 minutes of thinking time and will be allowed 2 90-second timeouts.
Yeah, those were your leads. They're so important, Jordan. You got to make sure that guard or that rock is anywhere outside the rings so that this doesn't happen. But the good news is they're both behind the tee line, and so another opportunity here for Sophie to throw a corner guard.
Kira will like to make up for her last shot here and put this one perfectly in the free guard zone. Sweepers are backing off this one. And it's a little heavy.
And it digs here.
Looks like it is, as they're trying to finish it off a little bit.
Good shot.
Good shot now. Some guys going to elect to just draw to the 4-foot here. Now in this situation, you are at 4, but also not having a kind of rocket already in front of the tee line. Some teams will maybe opt to throw the center guard here to bring play towards the middle. But being up 4 kind of does change that strategy a little bit.
I agree. Yeah, you want to put this one in the rings for sure, and away from the corner guard, like just off center on the right hand side, as you said. Top 4 would be perfect. Makes the hit and roll really difficult, and it also puts a lot of pressure back on Sophie to decide whether she has to make a play on that. And unfortunately, this one does slip behind the tee line. They kind of half swept that one, and so I like this call here, completely ignoring those blue stones right now and trying to get one fully buried behind that corner guard. Got to try and change the momentum of the game and try and put a lot more pressure on the opposition.
So right now for them, just about executing their shots right now. Just put rocks on the wing, force Team Guidos to make a play on them. A call for the draw here. So Chloe Mitchell, no, I think they're playing the hit and roll actually, Melissa.
Oh, they've changed.
Or no, they changed it last minute.
Nope, back again. They're confusing
I think the
us.
original call, yeah. Everybody at the other end had one shot in mind. Sophie had a different shot.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think you're right there.
There's Chloe Mitchell, the lefty. And this one, they're on it for line.
Come on, guys.
It's looking
Great
very nice.
rushing.
Gets by the guards. Perfect time. 14:26 on the stopwatch.
What a great shot.
It's perfectly buried. Although we said in the first game, the way this ice is curling, no rock is safe behind the
Yeah,
guard.
very, very true.
Early's gonna just play it safe here and just go for the peel instead of chasing them and maybe following them down.
Yeah, I like this call. You don't have to try anything fancy here. Just get rid of the corner guard, and that forces Sophie to have to make a decision on what she's going to do. You're in a good situation on the right-hand side of the sheet right now, so you just want to expose that yellow stone and see what Sophie... And in fairness, Laura Lee's very happy to give a deuce here. She doesn't want to give any more than 2, but 2 is not going to hurt her.
She gets set to deliver her first of 3 here in the second.
Great shot.
She will roll, and she will roll way over to the right now, biting 12 foot. I'm saying now you mentioned Melissa, it's decision time for Sophie and Team Brissette here. Do you throw her at the corner, or do you maybe come in and play a freeze?
Well, that yellow stone is 3rd shot, so I would almost throw another corner. Just one more corner. Let Guidos waste another shot on a peel, and then maybe come in on your second. You have to get 2, right? For Team Brissette, I know it's early, but you still really want to get your 2. If you come in right away, right now, and freeze to that one, it's a good shot, but it also brings the play already into the house, and we're still a little bit early in the end for that.
Freeze is the call. This one's starting to move on them as sweepers are on it. I'm not worried about getting to buy that top blue here. We'll take off and roll and bite in the 8th, but still right now not a terrible result for Team Brissette.
No, it's not. You're right. It's they do get a little bit of a roll in front of those blue ones, so it's all good right now.
Guys, let's sit here, just play the open one.
I agree.
There's some risk involved in hitting that stone. That was last shot thrown by Team Brissette, but I can't tell exactly what they're going for here. But I don't think it's a hit, Melissa.
You don't think they called the hit?
I don't. The way the broom is, I feel like they might be playing a guard here. Maybe tight to the rings.
Wow.
Very aggressive call.
Well, they do have Daryl Horn as a coach, usually, right?
Daryl Horn is
so
usually
Daryl's
their
listening.
They're probably just liking the way they're set up there. They're sitting 1-2.
And I totally get that, but if you they are throwing the hit. Okay.
Maybe they heard us and
Okay, cool.
playing the hit now.
Because I really wanted to bring up my next point, Jordan, is that if they're playing the hit, you play the open one because that's the easier, in terms of degree of difficulty, that's the easier shot. If you go for the other Yellowstone, there's a lot more factors involved. There's a possible jam, etc. So the degree of difficulty on hitting the other yellow is way higher. So this is a good call. Just keep the play away from center right now. Let Sophie Brissette have to throw them more difficult shots.
She will make contact but roll out, but gets the main part of the job done. And now an opportunity here for Team Brissette to lock one in their back four. Madison Monroe gets ready to throw her first rock here in the second.
So they've gone to school on the shot previously thrown by Chloe. They know where they need to put the ice. They know what the weight is. The first one they're coming up a little bit light, so if they've done their homework and gone to school, they should be able to make this fairly accurately right on the face of that blue stone.
So going to place it, freeze it on, sit there one. The important thing here for Melissa is just to stay in the rings.
Exactly, yeah. And on the higher side, right, Jordan? You don't want to be deep. You want to stay on the higher side so you can at least use it if you need to. It's all about the weight here. I think it might be a little light.
Yeah, looks like it will. They're trying to get as close to the rings as they can. And will come up about halfway, and they are light. Missed chance there by Team Brissette. Now, Team Guidos, do you maybe do the same shot and kind of play on top four above your own rocks?
Absolutely, because right now, Jordan, it looks like yellow right now has a potential of tapping their other yellow stone. So you want to try and you can't take away everything, but you want to try and take that away. That is the more difficult shot. So if she can put one here biting top four, she's going to be in good position.
I think the original call was maybe to play a little short of the rings, kind of block off that draw path. Based on the broom placement, because this is broom's terrace holding, it's right in the middle of the 12-foot.
And this is one of those opportunities that's knocking your door down, Jordan. This is a great opportunity for Guidos to put one top four and can put so much pressure on Sophie Brissette and her team. Tolerance is definitely on the lighter side. Trying to take away that path, but
this one looks on the heavier side. So we'll slide through the rings, and Team Brissette will now have another opportunity to sit one in there. It's all about that tolerance, so there's always, you never want to miss a shot, but for every shot there is a right way to miss it.
Exactly. And that one was definitely on the lighter side. You want to block that path that Sophie's now going to have an opportunity to try again. This time will be even more difficult if they make the shot to get out, obviously now because they have a guard up as well. So big shot here for Madison. Love to get to the face of that blue stone.
Sweepers are on and off it, which is always a good sign. The line looks good.
Yeah, she looks really close.
Gotta get it there. And a great shot by Madison Monroe there. Now sitting one for her team.
What a great shot.
It does leave now Team Guidos the opportunity to follow them back in and sit on top and hopefully sit shot stone.
Yep, and very similar to what we just talked about is the tolerance here, Jordan. The last thing you want to do is be deep. So ideally, you'd love to corner freeze that be shot rock. But if you're a little bit light, it takes away that second draw path.
That's what
Good indication
Laura
there.
Lee's just assuring that short is okay here. Tara set to deliver her first here in the second.
Looked a little bit tight, maybe.
Yep, we're on it for line right now. It's getting pretty close to that yellow guard up front.
Yeah, I think she was just a little tight out of on her slide there, Jordan. But if they could get a kiss, that would be pretty good. Get it, Kiss, your last name.
I haven't heard that one before. But we'll slide on by, and not an ideal. You were light there, but again, the line was just as important as throwing the right weight in that as that one.
Yeah, and maybe a little earlier if they knew it was light. If it's the communication, they could have got a kiss off the yellow guard there for sure. But that rock really doesn't help Laura Lee's team at all here right now. It's not really doing anything. So two options here. Oh, and a timeout because coach is going down.
Coach is going down. Kelly Meikle, the coach of Team Brissette. Just want to make sure. It seems the call here is to just come back down, follow your rock, and sit right on top of it. Then what does Team Guidos do?
Exactly. I would totally agree. That is definitely the call. I mean, I think they're probably looking at the run, but again, that's a harder shot. You have to make it perfect to stick it.
You just made the other shot too.
You just made the other shot. Yeah.
Might as well play it.
So not 100% sure. I mean, and if you do make a perfect draw again, and Team Guidos misses it, then you might have your opportunity for three. But it can't. If you remember your game plan, your end plan is to get two here for sure. Get back in the game.
This is the first of two 90-second timeouts per team. Of course, the first event here on the Junior Women's Tour. First of 5 presented by Bel Air Direct Insurance, as well as Best Western, the official hotel of Curl, BC. Of course, on the tour, points up for grabs based on where you finish, and the top team, both on the men's and women's side, will secure a crucial spot in provincials.
Yeah, it's a big year for everyone, that's for sure. It's exciting. Everyone wants to get that bye so they can train instead of having to compete and get your spot at provincials.
Provincials happening in Victoria this year at the end of December,
Yahoo!
Beginning of January. A hometown whistling for you, Melissa.
I don't have to go very far.
Of course, the big provincials this year, as the junior nationals are being held in Langley, so a chance to be the home team this year, so maybe a little added pressure for these teams.
Yes, definitely. We'll see that as the season goes on, Jordan. It's going to start getting very intense as the Spiels start to happen.
Yeah, a lot of this Spiel for a lot of teams, the first event together for some teams, first event of the year, maybe just try to figure things out.
All right, so still
we're having a little chat there. Like we said, I think the obvious call here is just to come around, sit on top, sit your deuce. You guys would have a very difficult shot to cut you down to anything less than 2.
I really don't think you can put this one in a bad spot in terms of location, unless it's wide open, but even the double, if you left them a double, it would be a very difficult double and a chancy double as well. Like I don't know if they'd want to take that chance, right?
I guess right on the button's the one place you don't want to
You don't want to be, yeah. You don't want to leave the in-off, like the hit and roll double, the flat double. So higher is better, but if you can get it half tucked, you're in a really good position.
Sophie Brissette, this team from the island. Sophie gets set to deliver her first stone here in a second. Looking to lock this on the top 4 foot on her own rock.
Mine looks pretty good. It's all about the weight.
Sweepers haven't touched it too much, but it looks very close. 14:35 on the stopwatch. That should be very close. Now, did they leave it too long? It's a good shot there. Great weight by Sophie. Now sitting 2 with the hammer. If you throw enough weight, Melissa, is the double there?
Again, this is a risk versus reward here, Jordan. The last thing you want to do is throw the hit on the yellow and remove one of your blue stones at the back. Right now, Sophie is pretty close set up for her deuce and maybe a 3. So I think the double is there, but it's gutsy. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah, if you do go for it, I think then that top yellow, the top of the 8-foot comes into play.
Exactly. And you got to think about the scoreboard right now. But they're going to play it.
Okay, maybe just play just the straight nose hit. Try to get to the inside, just remove that one top 4.
If you go for the nose and you hit it maybe 7/8 high side, you might even just push the yellow one and the blue might be shot, but the last thing you want to do here is hit it high side. You want to make sure you get to almost a full nose. I mean, I think there's a little bit of space, is there not, Jordan, between the yellow and blue on the right?
I think there's...
Maybe...
It's very close.
Yeah.
If you throw soft weight at it with this ice, you're definitely able to get by and get to the inside. But if you throw significant weight at it...
We'll see what she throws here. She's throwing some heat.
They're playing the double here. They do have to sweep it
Yeah,
now to get
playing
by
the
the
double.
guards. By the yellow will get by the blue. It will not. It will not tick, and it will go right on by. And it's going to be a shot for 3 here for Team Brissette and get right back in this one.
So I just want to go back to that shot for a second. And you're in control of this game right now, right? You're up 4. So ideally, you want to force your opposition to get 2. So how do you force them to get 2? There's a couple different ways. You could have thrown a tight guard. You could have thrown like one in the top 8. Or you could have just played the nose hit, a safe nose hit, and not try and make a big shot. You make a big shot, great, but you really have to weigh in the factors, risk versus reward in that particular shot. So opportunity here now for Team Brissette to get 3 back on the board.
Just made the Jarner. Last one needs a good chunk of the 4 to get her 3 and
Same
get right
weight
back
should
in
do
this
it, eh?
one. Absolutely, a little wider on this one. This one looks a little light. Smasson comes out to help. And it will come up short, and it will be a score of 2 for Team Brissette here in the second. So after 2 ends here at Rural City, it's Team Guidos 4, Team Brissette 2. Back inside the Royal City Curling Club here in New Westminster for draw 2 of the Anita Cochrane Memorial. I'm Jordan Kiss alongside Melissa Saligo as we get set for the third end of action here between Team Guidos and Team Brissette here on the women's side. 14 teams on the women's side in this bond Spiel. I believe top 4 make the playoffs. So
What great numbers. That's fantastic. 14 teams, and there's 10 on the
10 on the boys' side. So
yeah, nice.
good numbers all around. You got 24 teams, which is usually the amount of teams you want for any Spiel you have, but for juniors, it's great. It's the future of BC curling right here. So that one comes just over the hog line, and Worley's going to ask Haley Dooch to come around and draw to it, or draw around it.
So in that second end, not to go on too much longer about it, Jordan, but it's a frustrating when you've done all that work and you've set yourself up to get 3, and unfortunately you missed your last draw for 3, and like you said, she did go out a little bit farther. She probably was a little bit lighter, but if she would have thrown close to that same weight, she'd been really, really close. But good bounce back for Team Brissette. That gets them back in the game. And now in this third end, it's all about, playing it safe. You don't want to give another deuce back if you can help it. You want to maybe force the other team to win. It looks like right now Sophie is thinking maybe steal, and that's okay. But you want to do it safely. You don't want to put yourself into a pickle where you're going to give up more than one.
And you don't have the hammer this time.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice. First rock by Haley comes up short of the rings, and now Sophie's going to ask Kira now to come around.
Mine is great if it stops above the tee line.
It's heavy, and you can see it just pops all the way out. It just goes to show that you don't need to skinny by these guards.
No.
If you do, you're not going to be able to bury. Oh, he's going to just ignore that one on the back 12. Not a threat to her at the moment. And just try to do the same shot, come around, and sit top 4 above the tee line.
And what Laura likes right now is that those rocks are off the center, so that more of the forefoot is exposed, so the scoring area is very large if she happens to get one buried. This one doesn't look like it's curling as much.
This one isn't moving. It's got some weight to it as well. No, weight's okay here, as it's going to slide to the back of the forefoot. Team Brissette. And like play a hit and roll possibly. I think they also maybe suggested the draw in this situation.
Yeah, and I don't mind the hit at all, but I almost like hitting and rolling away, right? You don't want to roll behind those guards because then it's behind tee line, and if Lorley's team freezes to it, then you're in big trouble. So this is a great opportunity. Well, this one looks like they were drawing though, hey?
I don't know. Based on the weight, it looked like it was a good draw weight. A little heavy, but
I actually thought she called the hit.
It's going to curl, and it's going to knock in one of Team Guidos' stones. It looked like it was draw weight. You can tell on that one. Maybe some miscommunication between the house and the hack.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think she indicated the hit for sure. So opportunity here now for Guidos to get one just top 12, top 8. Even tight three guards, so tight to the rings is okay too.
Let's get Taylor Park on the brush here, trying to make it curl. Yeah, we'll sit on the side of center line, and we are sitting 2 buried, but that rock is now on the forefoot. It is buried, but back button.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for Sophie's team, but this is all in, Jordan. If they don't make a perfect shot here, then Guidos is in a tremendous position. So this is all your eggs in one basket right here.
We're only second rocks here. It's Chloe Mitchell now. Chance to come around and freeze. At least get in there and hopefully top 8 then.
Yeah, I was just going to say, remember your tolerance. Your tolerance is always to be a little bit lighter here. Put it in a position that you can use it if you need it. Oh, this one's over curling as well.
Looks like it might curl through the port. We'll hit the yellow. We'll sit up there. Still usable rock for Team Brissette.
All right.
I know Team Brissette said maybe a chance to lock it down. Sit one in there, then Team Brissette's going to be chasing without the last rock here.
I guess the good news is they do have that one on just off center, just thrown, that they could run back if they need to.
Still useful if they have to play it. Might have to play on the next one depending where this rock ends up.
Yes, exactly. This is not great. I mean, they might have the wide out turn come around as well, just the way it curls. They could probably get one in there that way. Haven't played much out there though, so the ice would be a little bit stickier. Great opportunity here now for Lee to put this in a decent spot. Half a round even would be great. If it's short, it's not too bad either. What she got out there in the frost, it looks like.
And this one's starting to dive as well. And it's going to come just over. So it will block off that draw path. It might. I don't know, with the way the ice, you never know. That you could still probably come around and freeze with that blue one if you really wanted to. Which Sophie's going to ask for the peel here and maybe try to clear the front up.
Wonder if she hits this one just half a rock on the blue. The other yellow might bounce depending on how they're lined up. If it bounces on the back half of the other yellow, it could come back. But it looks pretty even, eh?
I think the one on the center line's just a little higher.
Oh, okay. Then that will probably. But if she can get rid of something here, that would be key. Be nice to leave a yellow one out front there if you need it, though. Now this one's going to cross.
Hit right in the middle.
Uh-oh. That's not going to help her any. Oh, and she stopped the rock before it hit the back yellow one.
So one of those yellows would be out.
Yeah, one goes, one stays. No, not both. I don't think.
I wouldn't think so either. I think one of those should stay in the back, the 12-foot.
There's a replay when you need it, hey?
Marcio, where's the replay? Marcio, our technical producer. So we'll just keep it there in the 12-foot.
Yeah, I definitely leave one in there.
But now for Team Guidos, you're sitting better than what you were.
Yeah,
with those staggered guards.
Yeah, there's no play on that front yellow one now at all. So I'm not sure what Team Brissette has right now, except maybe the wide out turn, which is what Laura Lee's going to play.
It's going to be the wide come around here. Try to sit in the rings.
I think it's going to be a bit sticky, as we mentioned.
It's also a little wider out here. A little different speed on this one. This one's starting to move on one.
That's going to be a tough shot, hey, the way it curls off the boards there.
Just maybe even if you throw lots of rotation on it, still might not stay straight. So if he's going to ask for the peel here, try to salvage something in this end.
If those were a little less staggered, there might be a bit of a drag on it, hey? Towards the back
there
one.
could be. You might
still, maybe?
You might just at least nick it out of the 4-foot. I think that's best case scenario.
Yeah, if you throw half a rock maybe, a peel, no, that one's going to overcurl a bit, but if you can line up her yellow ones.
She does leave the yellow one open up the middle, still useful rock, but
it's going to be a tricky shot here for Team Guidos. Like, do you go on the wide out turn again? But if you're looking from our vantage point, it looks like the in-turn with maybe even a half weight could be there, maybe board weight.
Yeah, there might be a hole there.
Yeah, you'd have to throw some weight at it to get through the port. But so how do you guard that? I'm not sure. I guess maybe the out turn. That's tough because
you could, yeah. I still think you could come around really wide on the right side here and skinny by that blue just over the hog line.
Yeah.
And they're gonna call a timeout. Timeout is called. Their first here is their coach for this game, Will Sutton, will try to figure out what to do here.
Let's see what the big guy has to say.
Their normal coach, Daryl Horn, is not here with them this week.
Yeah, it's
I think right now, if Team Brissette, you don't have a shot to sit one right now.
I agree.
I don't think so. Maybe like Team Brissette can cut them down at the moment, with a wide draw or a run back. But
Yeah, I don't think that they could sit one anywhere.
so maybe is the call. Maybe just put one up in the middle.
Yeah, just potentially block.
Because like you said, that intern with like maybe hack weight might still be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually tough when you're looking at it to see what the best case scenario is. Right now it's not about putting your rock in a good position to score. It's about protecting what Team Brissette has on their shot.
And right now, all they have is that single run back.
Yeah.
Like you could play a shot and block both shots.
Yeah.
Block the port and block the run back. What I'm also looking at here on the left, those two yellows that are just below the blue rock. If you make contact, if you can somehow make contact with that, it's kind of lined up to hit that top blue.
Yeah, I wonder if from looking right down the ice, I'm not sure you can see enough of it. But if you could, that would be unbelievable.
They are possibly just blocking this hole here. And I think we'll be forced Team Brissette to play the run back.
Just to count them down.
Just to count them down, because the run back is there to cut the blue stones down, not there to sit for shot rock.
Yeah. See what Coach Will had to say?
I believe that's the call, just to plug the hole.
Yeah. And that's tough, just because those rocks are right over the hog line, right? So you got to try and scoot by it. This is a good call. I like this.
It is a safe call. If you maybe draw out the wide side, you might hang out there and leave a hit and roll for Team Brissette.
That's right. It's a good call. Safe call, as you say.
You are up by 2 as well.
Yeah, if you score a single here, you're in a good position heading into the fourth end.
Oh yeah. So here comes Literally guide us with the guard. Just gotta wait for it to get off the yellow rock, and it will now.
Looks like it's gonna be pretty good,
This
Jordan.
might block everything here, and
Oh yeah, if they stop sweeping it, it would actually block the run back as well.
Right.
What a great shot!
does the job. Great shot by Laura Lee, and her
That
rock
was a
now in the
tough shot, but
pocket.
a really great one.
Now I believe the run back is still there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Team Brissette's gonna like to play it. They're gonna like to play it.
I wonder if you have to throw
The other turn at it.
Yeah.
I think.
counterclockwise out turn for right-handers. I think looks a little bit easier from our perspective.
We're gonna. I think just visually, like the other turn look more appealing to the eye, but this one is the way you need to play at it.
I agree. And if she can nose it and remove one of the blue stones and leave her shooter right there, she may have. Or is this her last shot? Or first?
This is Sophie's first rock.
Yeah, so she might have a chance, right? So great if you can get to nose.
It's going to be
Get past the blue.
close, and we'll take it up again.
Oh,
make
there's
the
the shot you
contact.
were talking about.
On our way at it, but things look a
Okay.
little better for Team Brissette, but still got to sit in 2 with the hammer.
Yeah, and I think she has
If
no
she
option
can-
but to throw the exact same shot and let Sophie throw another run back. The thing is, if we have a look at it, is the run back set up this time? It's hard to say if she can get both, hey?
I think the blue will just nose the
nose
blue,
jam?
and you'll just eliminate the one.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it on the screen there.
So the same shot here for Katara Park. Katara delivers her first stone here in the third end.
Well, this one's hanging out a little bit more. Might have just a titch more weight. Once it makes its move, it should be a good spot.
Well, finishes Haley. Going to sweep it to curl now.
I'll leave it right there, Jordan, to take away both shots. But they did a great job of putting it in the right spot. But to get picky, you could have left it a little, another inch or two.
I think to really block both off, I think you would have to go the other turn, just because that rock on the right, just over the hog, that yellow one, is just right in the way there of your path.
Another opportunity here for Sophie Brissette to play their run back. She'll get rid of one blue if she can make this just a little bit on the low side, as we both think the second blue won't go.
I'm just thinking, is there a hole there? Maybe she can hit the one on the back of the forefoot. I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's just a little high side maybe, hey?
Yeah, you should hit and roll the 8-foot.
Oh, I don't
This
think she can
one's
get either
wide.
here.
I'm going to hit the yellow guard up top. So right now, as we stand, it's a score of 2 for Team Guidos. Now, what's the way to get in there for their 3? They just need 8-foot too, so I think
Yep, full 8.
the wide draw on the right side here looks like the most room, but they've played the side on the left. Or maybe through that hole there. A couple options for them. It's kind of whatever they want to play here, Melissa.
Pretty much. It's whatever Katara's comfortable with, and it actually looks like a pretty decent setup actually going through all those rocks. It looks like a harder shot, but it from our perspective, it is very natural. Right? It's a natural, and the ice will be good there. They'll know what the weight is.
Yeah. From the camera, it doesn't look like there's too big of a hole there, but if you look at it from our point of view, on the other side, it's a clear as day shot.
Basically comes down to her decision, right? Whatever she decides to throw, whatever turn she wants, it's not going to be straightforward. It's going to be either way out wide or trying to come through a bunch of rocks. As long as she can't hurt herself, then that's the only thing I could see is in the in-turn through all those rocks. If for any reason I don't see how it can hurt her.
I don't.
In any way.
There's no risk to it. You're
No.
not going to throw enough weight to bump anything up.
No.
But they're going to change their mind here and go with this wide draw here on the out-turn side.
She wants to throw a lot of rotation on this rock. Try and keep it straight.
In-turn side for a right-handed person. My left-handed myself, thinking left-handed there, but it's an out-turn.
Oh yeah, I was watching trying to figure that out.
It's an in-turn for Katara here. Now she has a draw for 3.
There's the rotation. That's great. We'll keep it out there for a long time.
I know, just got to get there for weight.
Yeah. You almost have to throw like probably 12 seconds out there, get through all that frost. It's a good try.
We'll cut it short, but they still will get their 2 points, and after 3 ends, it'll be Team Guidos 6, Team Brissette 2.
Woo-hoo. Sick fight. You gotta see this. Look.
Shh. I'm saving money.
Save up to 25% on your optional car insurance for safe driving with Bel Air Direct.
Just to give you an update what's going to happen around here on draw 2 of the Anita Cochrane over on sheet 1. It's Team Caldwell leading 2-1 over Team McNeil on the men's side. They're in the 4th end in that one. Over on sheet 2, Dawson Ballard is up 3-0 over Team Tao, so they just finished the 4th end. Over on sheet 3, it's Preston Ballard up 3-1 over Team Aoki from Japan in the 4th. And over on sheet 5, it's the other Brissette. It's Gabby Brissette. She's up 2-1 over Team Richards after 4 ends. And on sheet 6, it's Team Coles Lister on the women's side up 3-1 over Team Durant in the 4th. First shot from Haley comes to a guard. Not what you want when you're up 4. You would ideally like that one just to be on the 4-foot there.
I was just trying to figure out how to say that, Jordan, is that when you're up 4 points and you're almost halfway through the game, the last thing you want is a guard. So you want to make sure as the lead that you are throwing that into your tolerance is in the rings, or back is fine as well. But the last thing you want is a guard. You don't want to give your opposition any openings.
Nice. This rock from Kaylee will hit the blue, and it will leave a center guard for Team Brissette.
So because that guard is not blue, she now has to play a draw around it, whereas if it was her original rock, she could have actually peeled it, but no choice here. Has to try and beat Sophie Brissette around that center. But again, you don't want to be light here. You don't want to leave any more guards in play. This looks good.
Will come the rest on the side of the button. Great draw there by Hay, although it looks partially open. So maybe playing a soft weight tap at this one, Melissa.
It looks like it, yeah, and this is a good call. You want to keep the blue stone, although it's your opposition stone, you want to keep it in the rings, especially behind the tee line. That's where it's going to help you the most. So if she can get to the face of it or just inside on the center line side and just push it back 4 feet, she's in good shape.
Sweepers are backing off this one early, but they're coming down as it's diving towards the guard. And she will make contact, but again, they just lost it.
Yeah, a bit of maybe a miscommunication there, Jordan. They needed to be on that one earlier.
I think that one, again, just didn't have enough rotation. If you don't have enough rotation, you're just going to lose it.
Yeah, it'll just go sideways.
That's what, I believe that's what happened there. So it's going to be an open hit here for Haley. This one moving on them as well. Will make contact, but again, will roll out of the house.
And that's not bad, actually. Rolling out is a good thing because it was behind the tee line, and for Guidos, they don't want to keep those rocks behind the tee line.
Down 4, Team Brissette, you're going to elect to play the hit. Is this a situation where you just come around and just ignore that blue stone?
I think so. I think it's, you're down 4, you have to put some stuff in play. You can actually even throw the other turn and come around the guard and even keep it half exposed, like you don't want to bury it, so that if they try and make a run for it, you might have a jam. So playing the hit here doesn't do them really any good.
This one's looks like over curled again, and it's going to go through the hole.
I think I'd be walking up there and peeling myself on this next shot if I was Team Guidos. Now that I got the name right, I can say it more. Guidos.
Looks like they are maybe playing a tight guard here. Draw.
Yeah,
tight guard.
There's no reason for this. I would walk up and peel. I think we've thrown enough rocks, right?
We're
5 rock rule is gone. You just got to
They're gonna come
remember in
in.
this situation, Jordan, that what does Team Brissette want you to do? They want you to have rocks in the rings so that they can use them, freeze to them, and this is just going to go back button, and that's just not a good result.
That's
at
worst
all.
case there. Now a
Absolute
freeze
worst case.
opportunity here for Team Brissette.
Oh, I love a coffee here. I got money and everything. You must pay me money. Oh, no.
So now Chloe Mitchell here, chance to put her team in a great position if she can draw in there, at least get it in there top four. If I don't exactly have to freeze just yet, but
Yeah, anywhere in front of those two blue stones, anywhere is going to be a win for them at this point. You need to make some 3 to 4 shots here, Jordan, and force Team Guidos to have to make some more difficult shots.
this one's got some speed to it and will go right through the
boy.
hole. Again, Team Guidos now gonna like to play the come around once more. I feel like they feel.
Jordan, why don't you call a timeout and go in there and peel that card? Daryl's going
I
to jump
wish I
through the
had the
computer
power.
here in a second.
I feel for them right now the way they think of this. If they put one top four, they're set up for
Absolutely,
the end.
they
I
are,
think
for sure.
They feel they have an opportunity here to capitalize on,
But it is still very early in the end, and you want to play the scoreboard, right? It's about scoreboard management, and the scoreboard says get rid of that yellow center guard. So I would almost come the same way here if I was Sophie. Just we've seen the path there a number of times. She knows where to put the broom.
another opportunity here for Madison Monroe. Chance to lock one in there one more time. It's an all lefty middle section here for Team Brissette. Now this one needs to go for weight. Line looks good. This is going to be very close if they can get it there. And it will come up just top of the 12 foot, and that is buried by the center guard there, making it very difficult to tap up. Another opportunity for Team Guidos to sink one in there, and again, if they can, they'll be sitting quite nice. Slowly gets set to throw her final stone here in the fourth end.
She called top four or guard there?
And it's a
Jordan?
top four.
Top four? Yeah, Blue's in a really good position here, obviously.
This
and-
one's,
Well,
I know that might have picked something up because that just died.
we haven't played a ton out there on that side of the sheet, so it might have been sitting for a little bit here. But having a look at what they're doing there, Haley's cleaning it, so definitely could have been a pick.
So another opportunity here for Team Brissette to get one in there. They are. They do have the last rock here in the fourth to wrap up the third stones.
Really need to lock one on here. So Team Brissette needed to go to school on that last shot by Team Guidos, then have a look at what the ice was doing and get some times on it. And unfortunately, it comes up late and over curls.
Again, another missed opportunity there by Team Brissette. They've had a couple in this game where they had a chance to really lock this end down so nicely, but they haven't been able to capitalize on Team Guidos' misses.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, right? It's about taking advantage of the opportunities given to you. So you see Laura Lee there, she's gone out a little bit more, taking a lot more ice on this shot. Anywhere on the right-hand side of the sheet is a good shot for this blue stone. Doesn't have to be top 4. You can just block the path on that side of the sheet. So you want to make sure you get way out to the broom on this one.
It's Katara Park now. Throwing the 4th stones for this team.
This one's coming to a quick halt as well.
This might be a spot out there.
I think it's over. Just. Wow.
It is over, and
I think it's still there though for Sophie.
it's still, the guard's high enough, you can still come around and sit on top. Okay, as you mentioned, that side hasn't really been used too much for draws lately, so
Exactly.
teams aren't picking up on that.
So Sophie was already in the hack before, without even putting the broom down. So I'm not sure if they have a bit of a time situation, or coach is confirming that they might be a little bit tight on time. So good on Soph for getting into the hack and ready to go. She knows what she has to throw.
Each team given 32 minutes of thinking time here. Play 8 ends.
Get this one by the guard and just take it, but they gotta watch the weight. It's gonna come down on it really hard.
And they just left that one too long.
Yeah,
That's gonna.
I think that side of the sheet, Jordan, has just been sitting for a bit, and it's just a little frostier than what they're expecting.
Guys, now I'm just gonna elect to play the guard. Now maybe would he try to just guard the other side? Because I still think that draw is still there.
Yeah, great point. There's nothing on that side of the sheet for Sophie at this point. There is the wide in-turn draw to the 4-foot. That's the only shot she has at this moment, or the in-off on the outside blue one. But the left side is pretty safe. You don't even need to play over on this side.
Maybe
I think Laura Lee's having that conversation.
She
Yeah,
just
good job.
realize that.
Good acknowledgement. That's great.
At least put it in that hole. What does Team Brissette do? They have a double run back that's extremely difficult.
Nope.
Oh no, never mind. Back to the original call.
I think Katara vetoed her. Yeah, there's really no need to play on this side.
Tower Park now, her final stone here in the 4th. I'm assuming it to tap now. Some extra weight.
Great shot.
Yeah, they will get it there. Now just sitting 3 still, but oh, well, Laura Lee thought it was the last rock, but
Whoops.
move that rock, so we gotta put that one back. I guess they're just gonna leave it because they're not gonna.
Did she move her rock?
She did move it. She did move the rock on the center line to the other side, and they haven't put it back.
Oh. Oh boy.
But looks like
Well, good thing they're playing on the right-hand side. It won't come into
they
play.
we're planning on playing those rocks anyways. We're just gonna maybe go for the draw for 1 here.
Yeah, she's got to throw about 15 to 20 extra feet here, I think, and she just threw. Sweepers might want to have a broom down just to keep the path warm. I think they got to go. The line's perfect.
Just dying on them, and it is.
Yeah, if you don't have that broom down, Jordan, it just hits the frost. There's nothing you can do. You really want to keep the path warm, even if you're not doing it for weight. Just keep the path warm. Keep the broom down at all times.
And it is
All
going
right.
to be a steal of 3 for Team Guidos here in the 4th end. It'll be a 5-minute 4th end break, but after 4 ends, it's 9-2 for Team Guidos.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ.
Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
Woohoo! Sick fight. You gotta see this. Look. 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 Look.
Shh. I'm saving money.
Save up to 25% on your optional car insurance for safe driving with Bel Air Direct.
Back inside the Real City Curling Club here in New Westminster for Draw 2 action here at the women's side of the Anita Cochrane. I'm joining Kiss with Melissa Saligo as we're now set for the fifth end here between Team Brissette and Team Guidos. And for Team Brissette, you're down 9-2. Are you trying to come back early, or are you just trying to finish off strong here?
I think you're pretty much trying to finish off strong, but what's most important is that Team Brissette goes to school on the ice, Jordan. This is the ice they'll be playing on. This is only their first game. There's lots of time left. So regardless of what happens this game, I'm not going to say that they're going to give up or anything, but you want to make sure you learn the ice. That is the most important thing, and I think that's what maybe the difference is between the two teams right now is Team Brissette's just struggling a little bit with the ice. I think they're putting the broom in the right position, but it's a matter of getting out to that broom and just adjusting their weights accordingly. So Team Guidos is doing a better job of that right now, and that's what's reflecting in the score.
Team Guidos just playing with 3 today. As Eddie Farquhar throws the draw, and that one's going to just slide to the back, the 4-foot.
Yeah, so those are 2 shots that, you know, if you want to get particular, that's not what you want your lead to throw, right? You're up 7 points, and you throw your first one off center, and it's a guard, and then the next one slips behind the tee line. So, you know, little opportunities here, and Team Brissette has had the opportunities this game. They just haven't been able to take advantage of them. So, and then this is really important for Team Guidos too, is they've got to stay strong and they've got to stay focused, and it's hard, right, when you've got a bit of a lead, but you want to make sure that you're getting pieces of everything. You want to get at least a 2 out of 4 in every single shot.
That one comes up a little short and just next to the guard. Now Team Guidos still can't peel yet. Of course, 5 rock rules, so they're going to elect to come around.
This one's really going sideways.
Tara's going hard on the sweep.
Oh,
Won't be that one. You can see that when you said Melissa, just sideways, and it will bump that yellow as it bites the top 12-foot.
and it's such a crucial point that you made earlier, Jordan, is that you don't need to just skinny by the guards, right? You can get by the guard by 6 inches, 8 inches, and it's still going to fully bury, and that's such a key point to playing on this kind of ice. This is the ice curler's dream of playing on, right?
It
you know,
is.
once it gets up to speed and all this curl, this is beautiful. This is what you want to play on, but you have to know how to throw on it and brush on it. And you just can't be tight. Like, no matter what you do out there, you can't be tight.
I feel that because these rocks are brand new, I think that it's playing a minor role in this as well, where we're seeing a lot of roll curls
Definitely.
exist.
Yeah, definitely.
I think for most people, playing with new rocks is very new to them. They just don't know that new rocks take time to break in, and it's kind of like breaking in a shoe or breaking in a baseball glove.
Exactly.
They need to be used until they get to
it's so they're
playing
so
condition.
sharp, right?
Yeah.
They're so sharp, and they're gonna catch the curl, and they're just gonna go. All right, so looks like blue line 2. I'm trying to get another one half around. Again, Sophie Brissette in a bit of trouble here early in the end.
Will come up short, and she is going to elect to call the peel here instead of maybe trying to come around and just sit in there for shot stone.
Yeah, trying to open up the scoring area there right now. There is an intern access to the 4-foot, but not a lot, right? You got to go way out pretty wide to do that. So she's trying to open some stuff up, move some yellow stones around, maybe try and get a piece of the blue.
And she's going to poke that right through the hole.
And that's just the way the game's been going for her, unfortunately.
Sums up. That is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, that is a totally unfortunate break.
She sits up there as well, and for Team Guidos, you can play the wide come around. I would assume is the are sitting up top 12.
Yeah, but the way those guards are staggered, it's a pretty nice in-turn come around. If you can put one top 4, even top 8's fine.
It was like a hammer. As soon as it hits something, it stops. Yeah, it's because of the distance. There's nothing in between, but that's what it is. Yeah.
Make a slight ice adjustment now.
It's not. Oh, maybe she's throwing the guard, Jordan, because
Maybe
that's
just
not
put it
very
in the
much.
middle, yeah.
That's not very much ice at all. And that's not a bad call either, because right now Team Brissette does have the wide in-turn, and that's pretty much it.
So forward. Maybe playing the guard, but she threw draw weight. Although, does get a good result out of that. I don't know. It might be lined up for Team Brissette here. The top 2 should go. You might clip the back one on the way down, but
Yeah, if she can get rid of those top 2, that would be ideal. Just a little high side or even nose might do her, eh?
yep. So nose is good.
Doesn't have a lot of weight though, Jordan.
No, it's very quiet.
He can figure out who's leaving the front page.
We'll move him around, and now we'll sit on the 8-foot, opening up the middle now. Does the job of clearing up the front, but Team Guidos has another opportunity just to put one back on the center line. Or would you maybe just put the foot on the gas pedal, draw in through the hole there?
Yeah, right now they're from those the 2 rocks on the right hand side of the sheet over, there's really nothing, right? So if you put it anywhere even top 12, even if you bury a little bit, half bury, you're in good shape. So why not? At this point, why not? Sophie's has to make a very difficult shot.
This one is wide.
This one's, not. So they might get it the other way. Just push that blue one over.
Well, do it that
Whatever
way.
you gotta do.
Sometimes everything just works out your way. Now Team Brissette here gonna have to play a run back. Now they're gonna like to play run in the blue instead of their own rock.
She could play just a tap, right? Like a
No need to play weight at it.
no. Not sure why she's calling the shot, but I guess maybe by doing this she's trying to give herself more than one option on a couple shots later. But this is a great opportunity for her to actually take control of the end. This one's going to overcurl.
Real hit in the pocket. We'll free up that rock on the left there that could be useful for them come skip rocks. Right now it's still Team Guidos sitting 2 without the hammer. Well, I guess the good news now for Team Brissette is they have a bunch of different options they could They could run in or tap up front, and now for Team Guidos, which one do you guard? Or do you maybe try to come in, tap your one on the right there, and really put the pressure on?
I don't mind this call. She's throwing one kind of maybe in between those 2 yellow stones. Just put a blue up there and make it more difficult for Sophie. You can't guard everything, obviously, which right now Sophie's got 3 options, I would say. None of them super easy, but Team Guidos thinking that putting a guard up there will at least take away one option, maybe even potentially 2.
Skip stones now here in the 5th end. Tear apart for Team Guidos.
So you can actually go through that hole and take them both away that way too.
Was it gonna curl?
Oh.
It's been that kind of game for Team Guidos. Through the hole.
Wow.
Now
Must be that
free.
coaching of Will Sutton. Hey?
We'll blame it all on Will.
Team Brissette just cannot catch a break this game. That was a beautiful shot. I'm not gonna lie. So
You could call that and you wouldn't even make it.
no, no, absolutely not.
Yes, they're gonna play the run back here. And save that tap on the left for their last down if they have to.
I guess you could get the raise or like run back double. There's also that outside left one too. That you got to put the, as you said, the foot on the gas pedal eventually here. That's not going to be in a favorable spot. But it does expose a yellow one.
It does. Just the only right now the only yellow one that can get to the button right now is the one on the left. So that's what they're going to look at. Just guard that one. And what does Team Brissette have here to score?
Not a lot.
They're going to have to go blue-yellow if this guard is made. I think that's the...
Yeah, I'm not. Sophie just had to make a change in tactics, I think, at some point in the last two rocks. Just start going for it rather than trying to clear. Because as you say now, she's, if they guard this, I'm not sure what she's going to do. A very difficult double tap yellow angle, maybe?
Something like that. Some weird concoction of rock on rock. It's not going to be easy, I can tell you that. This guard needs to be made first off before we can...
Yeah, I'd almost come the other way with the guard, put the broom on the other side.
That's a very tricky spot out here.
Yeah. We saw what happened coming home with rocks way out there. It was very, very sticky, and once it started to bend, it was pretty much uncontrollable, so it looks a lot easier. Yeah, I don't know if that shot was possible coming this way. I think you need to throw the in-turn.
So yeah, you can see it's already going towards the middle.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough room to play that way.
Will come up short. And Team Brissette here has this angle for her one. Rachel here trying to end off this fifth end on a high note here, get your one on a nice shot. And
this is a really important shot for Sophie to make. She needs to get some confidence out of the shot going into the rest of the weekend.
This one looks close. It's going to be close.
It's really close.
Needs to move. Needs to move.
She's got it. She got it.
And she
Yeah,
does. Sophie
what a great
Brissette with a big
shot.
shot.
That's fantastic. That's a huge shot.
Huge confidence booster for Team Brissette as they trail after 5 ends here at the Anita Cochrane. Back here at the Real City Curling Club, it's resume action here in the 6th end between Team Guidos and Team Sophie Brissette. I'm Jordan Kiss with Melissa Saligo. Is our second of 4 games on tap today here on Curl BC's YouTube page. Of course, we'll be live streaming all games of the Anita Cochrane here on Sheet 4.
What a fantastic shot, Jordan, made by Sophie Brissette in that last end. And as we said earlier, you know, it's hard when the score is a bit lopsided, but you have to keep going to school, you have to keep learning, you have to keep understanding the ice. And she made an absolute perfect shot with a great result to get her one in that last end. And that's, as you said, a confidence booster for her. That's huge.
Definitely, especially, it's only the first game of the event. You still have 3 more games after this. So.
Yeah.
Do what you can now. Is there a little makeshift tick there in a way by Haley? And Team Brissette going to throw another center guard. It's going to be Kaylee Dickey. Chloe Madison on the sweep here is looking very nice, and 2 good shots made there by Kaylee. Kira,
I believe.
Yes, it is Kira. It's right in front of my face.
She's trying where is she here? Oh, hit the back one. Okay.
Play the open hit, and Kira's on this the whole way. Haley will make the hit and roll out. Sophie's going to ask Chloe for the come around draw here.
You could throw up another tight guard for sure. You don't need to come in right away. And I think that's what she is calling.
Looks like that's right out. Trying to get by the first guard though.
You want to try and separate those rocks if you can.
Some separation still. Guard up there in the center, and He's going to ask Haley for the peel here. She's taking a lot of ice for this one.
She's peeling the higher one?
I believe so, yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice. Maybe trying the thin.
She's got one for sure. What happens? She'll make contact with the yellow. And that yellow will spill out. Great shot there by Haley Farquhar. Double peel.
Focus on the next sheet over in sheet 3. Preston's in his backswing throwing. And a rock's going across the sheet. I hope he makes that one.
Back over to sheet 4 here.
Sorry, rocks are flying everywhere. Got distracted.
Another center guard here for Team Brissette. So hopefully a little tighter to the rings.
That's a good shot. This placement.
It was made very well executed end so far by Team Brissette. This will be another peel here for Laura Lee. This is the first event on the Junior Tour presented by Bel Air Direct Insurance and Best Western. The next event will be in Maple Ridge at the Golden Years Winter Club over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Keep guns. So bothered with me. I keep switching the scores everything.
This peel is made. This will be another center guard here for Team Brissette. Madison Marone gets set to throw her first here in the 6th.
This one's a little farther out, Jordan, so we'll see it probably dig in pretty quick here.
The sweepers are on this one. I haven't left it since it left Madison's hand.
Someone's bad.
And peel is made, but still has 2 guards there left on the left side here. A chance for Team Brissette to draw around. Asking it set to throw the draw here.
I'd love to get one buried here behind those 2 blue stones.
You get on it for weight. Line looks great. They are by, but kind of get there, at least get it in the 12-foot. And it'll just lose its handle there and just go sideways. It will end up short now.
So too much to peel here for Team Guidos, so it's time for them to throw a draw.
They'll play at the come around again behind the corner guards. This one looks like got some speed to it. This one needs to slow down. This one go right through the house. Another chance here for Team Brissette to bury one. Sophie's already in the hack, ready to go.
Sophie must feel her time's still a bit tight, so she's playing ready curl.
A little easier in this situation when it's kind of straightforward when you know what to do.
For sure. This one's got lots of room as well.
This one's not moving as much as the others, a little extra ice, but it will sit down there nicely. It's
nice weight.
Great draw weight. Shot here now for Kater just to remove it and hopefully a little roll on the inside. He just cleans that one on its way down, and it will make contact and roll open in the 4 foots. And Weston's going to put the broom down, and looks like they're going to play the freeze here, play the aggressive call, and throw the out turn at it, laying it all on the line here. These teams will be back in action tonight at 9 o'clock. And we'll have the next draw. For the next draw here on our live stream will be on the men's side, Team Faye versus Team Kamada. That will be happening at 6. Looks nice. We got to sit down and we'll play a bump up. They are
Great
sit
line.
and shot
eh?
rock.
Just a
And
little bit heavy.
shot here for Katera just to remove it and at least score her one here. So shot for 2 here for Katera.
Does it say that? Does it say that?
Haley hasn't touched it, but she will clean it and will remove the yellow, and there will be a score of 1. Team Guidos here, and that will be handshakes as Team Guidos will go to 1-0. Team Brissette 0-1. It's just their first of 4 games here at the Anita Cochrane. It'll be a final score of 10-3. I'd like to thank from our sponsors, Bel Air Direct Insurance, as well as Best Western, and also Via Sports and Hosting BC. We'll be back again at 6 o'clock for Team Fave versus Team Kamado from Melissa Saligo. I am Jordan Kiss. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you later.